When you play the Game of Thrones, you
Subscribe and like.
or you die. There is no middle ground.
Alright, hello YouTube. So, we're back on the Grease Goblins channel. I wanted to take a little bit of a moment before this video starts to say thank you guys for all the support on the videos and stuff. It means a lot to me, as well as the kind words. Also wanted to say, I have started a Twitter and an Instagram page for this channel. So if you guys wanted to follow those will be in the description. Using those mainly to interact with you guys better and for kind of doing polls on seeing what you guys want to see and dictating kind of the content when it comes out. So, yeah. But today's video is going to be on Arya. This was suggested by the comments, as always. And yeah, before we get into this video, subscribe and like if you want to see more. And yeah. So, the last we see of Arya is we actually get a sampling chapter from Winds of Winter, which is the title of Mercy, which is just Arya, you know, playing a character or whatever. But in this chapter, she ends up killing Raf. If you guys don't know, this is the, like, Lannister soldier that kills Lamy. And we see this kind of replaying. Well, basically, in the show, they combine this scene with the Hound scene, where, you know, the chicken scene. And they have Arya kill Raf in that scene. In the books, it's a little different. She goes kind of rogue and kind of just assassinates this guy. And basically, she stabs him on, like, the inner thigh or whatever, so it's kind of gruesome. It's kind of a dark it's kind of like a dark chapter in general. And then basically does the whole thing where she's like, or he gets him to basically say, "You're gonna have to carry me," and she does the, "You think so?" And then, yeah, he's dead. So we see that this is a kill that the Faceless Men did not tell her to do. And it's going to lead to some issues, I think, for Arya. Because she, in her own mind, knows there's going to be some sort of, like, repercussions for this. And she knows that she probably needs to leave the Faceless Men at this point. But here's the problem. This is not the show. Okay? She's not going to be able to outrun the Faceless Men. She's not going to be able to kill one person. And they're just going to let her go. This isn't the show. Okay? So there's realistically, like, 3 different options for what could possibly happen for her getting out of Braavos. And the first one really would be, okay, she just tries to make a run for it. If she does this, she's probably going to die. You're not outrunning the Faceless Men. It's just not going to happen. The second one is she asks the Faceless Men if she can leave. Which, again, not going to happen. They're not going to let her just leave after teaching her all this stuff, and they want to use her to her fullest abilities. That's not going to happen either. Number 3 is maybe they allow her to do a mission in Westeros, so they tell her to kill somebody in Westeros because they know she's still Arya, and this is the best way to use her would be, yes, to give her what she wants. She goes back to Westeros, but she's supposed to kill someone, or else. Or they could just send her back to Westeros and say, okay, we're going to contact you. There's going to be a mission that you're going to have to perform once you get there, and we'll get in contact with you, and you do that. Now, from this point, it is a little interesting because I think there's 2 characters I think really make a lot of sense for Arya to kill. Now, one would be Cersei. Now, I don't like the Cersei one because I want Jaime to do it. I think there is a theory that works that satisfies both. And the reason I bring up Cersei is because it makes sense from the standpoint of Cersei is not paying her debts to the Iron Bank. So with seeing that, you could see this where the Iron Bank decides to kill Cersei or Tommen. I guess it could be Tommen as well, because they're not paying them back. You get a new ruler, new establishment in, and maybe this gets paid back. Even though the Iron Bank is supporting Stannis at this point, they could be playing a game of many fronts, which is what most people do in A Song of Ice and Fire. That's the first one, and the way I think Arya could fill out this mission would be she kills Jamie, and then uses like either a mirror or some sort of mummery, because in the show it's a lot more difficult on the face thing. It's not a thing where you get somebody's face and then boom, magic gets on. We see a whole scene where basically it seems like they're cutting Arya's face and then putting a mask over it. It's something Arya is not going to be able to do by herself, I don't think. So I think that's out of just taking his face. So I think what we could see is maybe Arya either kills Jamie and then becomes Jamie and kills Cersei, or we see her use a mirror to become Jamie or look like Jamie and kill Cersei that way. Thus fulfilling this mission, and maybe this mission they say, Arya, you're free to go since you did this mission for us in Westeros or whatever. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. That is one possibility. The second possibility, which is I think harder because it would have to be somebody in Westeros, I feel like, for her to go to Westeros, would be Daenerys. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Daenerys is because there's this ongoing theory that the doom of Valyria could have been or was caused by the Faceless Men. And they brought down the Valyrians with the dragons and all that. So it could make sense that the Faceless Men have this motive to actually want Daenerys dead. Now, my problem with this one again is Daenerys isn't in Westeros right now. So this would have to occur. This would have to be something where they're like, okay, they allow her to go to Westeros. You know, she does her thing for a little while, and then eventually, later on in the book, maybe like the end of the book of Arya's like plot, you know, the Faceless Men meet back up with her and give her the name, leading into the next book. So that's what I could see happening there. What I think is going to happen, which I think would be really cool, is now they gave Arya the name Mercy in this chapter that I'm referencing a lot. Could they be referring to like the mother's mercy? You know, maybe she goes back to Westeros and she finds her mother, you know, Lady Stoneheart, and she actually takes a lesson from this. She stops being as cruel. I mean, because she's only 12 at this point and she's killing people ruthlessly, cruel. Maybe she sees her mother and just gives her a mother a mercy and kills her, puts her to rest, and even learns something from this and stops, you know, being as cruel and hateful like how her mother ended up being. Kind of what we saw what the Hound did in the show at the very end, but just a lot sooner and something that makes a little bit more sense. And that could be something really cool. So maybe Arya's there to see the Revenge Red Wedding, because I think it's going to happen, and I really hope it does. Also, it'd be a good way to tie in the Wolf Pack with Arya being back in Westeros. So I think all that does happen. I think Arya eventually does all this. By the end of the book, she does what I say, where maybe they tell her Daenerys is the new target that she has to kill. And we see this whole war, you know, happen maybe with the others. Or we see this compromise, which I think is more likely. I don't think there's going to be one big battle to end the war for, the Dawn. I think maybe this happens. We see this Daenerys Mad Queen type plot actually unfold. And Arya does end up being the one that kills Daenerys because of the Faceless Men contract. Or, which could be even interesting, is her character actually ends because she's not willing to commit, a cruel action upon Daenerys by killing her for the motives of the Faceless Men, and she ends up actually dying to the Faceless Men. And that ends her character arc with her changing from a character, or going from a child to a character that became more cruel as you see her kill the stable boy, which is something that was a shock to her, to where, you see the guards dying at Harrenhal, where she just seems almost unfazed by it, to going to Bravos and then killing the insurance dude who was kind of a jerk, killing the Night's Watch guy that was with Sam that basically deserted, to then killing Raph. you see, maybe you have that full circle where in the end she actually stops being that person that's just a killer, and that's what, you know, brings about her downfall. Or maybe she does get a happier ending. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think she's gonna sail west of Westeros. I really don't like that for her character. It just doesn't seem to fit, unless we get more in the books that suggest that. I was referencing the show because that's what she does in the show, but I just don't feel like that's the right ending for her. I think it actually would kind of be a fitting end if she actually did get married to somebody like Gendry or something like that, like how Gendry proposed that him and Arya were going to get married, because it would see just a complete overhaul of her arc as a character as we see her go through all these experiences of being on the road and turning into this killer and seeing how those affect someone. Maybe she reverts that character. I'm not sure, honestly, but I think she is a very interesting character, and she's a lot more interesting in the books than the show. The show butchered Arya and made her a very one-dimensional, boring character, in my opinion, who just got everything handed to her. She had so much plot armor. I really hope they don't do that in the books. I hope they don't make her, invincible, basically, and really look into her mind a little bit and develop her character still, which I think George will do. He's very good at doing that. But yeah, I just want to talk about one thing on the show that never made sense to me. So in the books, every person that Arya, well, she's only supposed to kill one person that we know, but from what we can tell, faceless men are kind of like karma. Like, it's always somebody that's kind of a jerk, kind of a bad dude, that's the one that they're sending to get, killed. In the show, they do somebody that is like a good person and Arya doesn't want to kill them. But the person that hires them is a younger actress that's jealous of the older actress. How the faceless men are described as being very, like hard to pay, like they're very expensive. Like Littlefinger even throws paws at doing this because they're so expensive. How the hell did this younger actress pay for that? It's little plot holes like that that destroyed the show. But I just wanted to bring that up in this video because it's just mind-boggling to me that wasn't really brought up in season. I think it was season 6. I think that's season 6. Like I said, the show started having its problems in season 5. Like there's things they cut out in the earlier seasons that did impact it later on, but for the most part, it was still good. Season 5 really kick-started some of the things they cut out. But yeah, let me know if you guys got a grand theory for Arya, because I think her escaping Bravos is going to be way more interesting than the show, because there was no consequences to what she does in the show. In the books, I think there will be. I think this, killing will have a consequence that she's going to basically have to do something for the faceless men in Westeros. And I think that's how George gets her back into the main plot and story, is through basically having to do some sort of big kill to basically end out her time with the faceless men, if it even ends. And yeah. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's somebody you guys want me to do. I will try to do them as soon as I can. I'm getting kind of backed up with videos. I got like characters for like the next 2 weeks. So if you suggest something now, maybe not till 3 weeks. I am going to do polls on my Twitter. If you guys do want to have a say in what you guys want to see first. But yeah, so follow over there. We'll be in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.